One of the highlights of my month was seeing these two cute chickens by the side of the road. We stopped to look at them and I got to hug one for a while. They smelled so nice and were really well looked after. I ordered some more tombstones for my cemeterarium. Unpacking them was lots of fun. I place a little tombstone in my cemetery every time one of you subscribe during my live streams. I hope it makes it special. Thank you all so much for the support. I love playing with all the different shapes. Here's the other half of tombstones I bought last year. I can't wait to paint these soon. For now, at least they look alright the way they are. So many happy little tombstones! I started having issues with my cameras not showing up in streams today, so I spent a few hours fixing that. Even after having a setup that works, things still go wrong on a regular basis. Today was shipping day. I'm always excited when I get to do this. I start off by printing the customer shipping labels. Each one has to be cropped to size. Once I have all the prints, labels and inserts ready, I start packing orders. I add solid backing board to all my prints so they won't bend. I prefer not to roll my prints so they all get shipped flat. I add business cards and other goodies. I also like to write up personal thank you cards to each of my customers. And of course the print gets packed. Trying to undo the label stickers can sometimes be a real pain. And I finally got it. The mini stickers are so fun. Back to my printer, Lady Gutenberg. I have her print me some address labels. Off she goes. She prints like magic. Antoine Louis, my Cricut machine, does the rest of the work. I keep a plastic sheet over my Cricut mats so they stay dust free. Next, I align the sticker paper onto the mat. I pat it all down to make sure it's nice and firm. May the cutting begin! The labels were cut out so well. Thanks to my community support, I can now finally print my own stickers from my studio. I try to ship multiple orders in one day. It makes things a lot easier for me. First, the backing board. Then the print. I add a thank you letter. Some business cards. Stickers are very important. They fit nice and snug. I always have to add extra glue to these mailers because they're never sticky enough. And we're done! This is my process for pretty much all the packages I send. I love being a part of the process every step of the way, so I love doing all the printing myself at home because it really makes me feel more involved in the process. I've wanted to focus on painting Frankenstein's monster for a while now, and I had a clear idea in my head exactly how I wanted to do it. I aimed for a soft finish, almost like the old tintype portraits. I placed masking fluid over the lightning areas so I could preserve the white areas while I worked on the beautiful gradient. For his coat, I wanted to give it a grungy appearance, almost like mold had grown all over it. After I finished painting him, I started adding in smaller details to his face and hair. I worked with the shape of his face to add wrinkles and textures. I'm so happy with how he turned out. I'm planning to design a t-shirt out of this artwork. I got to go kayaking for the first time with my sister this month. It was so peaceful at the lake. We were the only ones kayaking and had the whole lake to ourselves. There were also cute ducks. The water felt so nice and cool. I wish we could go swimming. I was worried I'd topple over, but I felt much more balanced than I expected. We banked for a snack of donuts and some coffee. Luxury kayaking. I found a fascinating new artist this month that I'm surprised I haven't come across before. His name is Edward Gawley and he creates the most incredible pen and ink drawings with colour. I love the different textures he incorporates in his work, the eerie way he draws faces, and rather idiosyncratic shapes he puts together. While the faces of his characters usually don't have much expression to them, he manages to fill this void with so much emotion through the way he incorporates contrast and texture. His art style is eerie and reminds me of the writings of Edgar Allan Poe. I went out with my boyfriend to have a nice meal and coffee at one of our favourite places to eat. I ordered a pumpkin, egg and vegetable dish. They add so much flavour to their veggie dishes, it's amazing. For dessert, you can't get better than Krispy Kreme donuts and milkshakes. I visited a new pet store I hadn't been to yet. They had so many different varieties of fish to look at. This guy was really cool. I love watching him suck the glass. I really love these bubble-eyed goldfish. They are so cute. I have a special vinyl collection of some of my favorite artists and got my brother into the hobby as well. We have a great time listening to Jack White's music together. Every month, my patrons give me different prompts to combine into a drawing. I was really excited to get started on this one. One of the prompts included a cutesy Grim Reaper. I love this character so much. I worked on toned paper so I could play around with more highlights. I used to despise drawing fabric, but the more I got into it, the more I started enjoying it. Two of the prompts included wolf weapons and green goo, so I combined the two into one. Adding all the goo for the background was a lot of fun. My favourite thing about tonal paper is getting to add in the highlights. This is where the clothing and blades really come to life. Huge thanks to my patrons for their support and suggesting the prompts for this drawing. I had lots of fun with it. After getting bubble tea this weekend, we stopped at a nearby cemetery to explore. We spotted some cows in a paddock nearby. It was so peaceful out here. I found this magic wand while we were out for a walk. felt like it summoned me to pick it up, but I have yet to master its powers. My mother hand makes these Bunnycorn plushies based off one of my mascot characters. You can adopt a Bunnycorn of your own from my shop. Thank you all so much for following me on my art journey through this month. If you'd like to support me so I can create more art and videos, please check out my Patreon. See you all next month!